Hi, my name is Tobbe, and this is a tip for all you FumeFX users out there. I worked with a lot of talented FumeFX users, and I haven't seen anyone set up their scene so that they're aware of this, and it really blew my mind when I found out, because I've been using FumeFX since the first alpha, and yeah, it's just, I'm gonna go through this really quickly and let you know, and if you knew, you knew. If you didn't, you didn't. I hope it helps you. So, alright, here's a grid, and I have a plane as a collision, and I'm just gonna have an adapter turn on. I'm gonna run this, and I'm gonna stop this, and I'm gonna go back a few frames, and as you can see, the plane is being voxelized on frame 0, even though it's not in adaptive grid, which takes up memory, and when you get very complex objects and very deep sims, it takes up a lot of time when it doesn't need to. Okay, so that's one thing. That's not a big deal. Most people probably knew that. So, but what if we set this to be outside, like let's say 300 by 300? Oh, actually, first I'm gonna set it to 100 on both sides, and I'm gonna rerun the FumeFX. Okay, and stop it. So when it's the exact same size as the Fume container, it takes up 16.2 megabytes. Okay, now we know that. Now let's see what happens if you make it larger than the container. And I run it again here. Stop immediately. As you can see, it now takes up 145 megabytes of memory and took 1 second to voxelize. Even though it's actually, so this means that it voxelizes everything outside the container if it's picked in here. So if you have a collision object and it's outside the container, it's gonna voxelize everything, and this gets a bigger problem the more complicated your object is, and the larger your object is, so the further away it is from your container. So what you need to do in that case is to set up a box, link it to your container, make sure it's the same size, and then set up a volume select, and make sure you delete every face outside the container. That's the best you can do right now. And now if we run it again, we go back to only 19 megabytes being 14.9 megabytes being taken up again. So it just amazes me that I only now found out that objects get voxelized even when they're outside the FumeFX container. I didn't think that was possible, and it does make a huge difference on actual scenes. I've tested it on production scenes, and it just makes a massive difference. So, but the bigger problem still is that it calculates it when it's not in the adaptive grid, and that means it's a waste a lot of times, because a lot of times you have collision objects just coming in and then going out again, and it will still be kept in memory, and it will still take up time, and time actually becomes a big factor when you start adding more collision objects, and the more complex they are. So that's it. Delete every single face outside your container, and hopefully Sydney Sati will do something about this in the future release of FumeFX, and I hope this helped you. I wasn't aware of it. I haven't seen files set up that delete every face outside the container, so I'm a bit surprised. So I just wanted to let you know. If you knew, great. If you didn't, then I hope this helped you. That's it for this tip.